Walker as we charge down. The Kawasaki's got a good run, but is it Mike Brown? It looks as if it is. Mike Brown leads as he goes over the log for the very first time. Good start. That Hager in third place.
It is.
He's had a good run.
And Taddy Blazusiak right there in the front, so big hitters right there. Ricky Dietrich, our 2008 champion, also right there. So right now, look at him going off the big air. Woo.
Okay, Mike Brown into the low par, but here comes Blazusiak. Blazusiak, and who is the chief? Well, the big enemy, I suppose, for Brown, but he's got his head down at the sharp end. As we come towards us now, Colton Haker in third position. As we come over the tyres, bit of squash in there as they banged out hard on this concrete surface. 5.39, Ricky Dietrich, he's had a great first lap as they come into the River Rocks for the first time of 10.
Mike Brown with a racing background in motocross, Taddy Blazusiak with the trials background, and became a hard enduro rider by chance going to the Erzberg Enduro, where he also earned his factory KTM ride 5 times. Taddy Blazusiak has been the champion of the Erzberg Rodeo, as they call it. Right now, though, Mike Brown leading the pack. And Mike, again, from Tennessee, a very tried and true motocross racer. He raced in Europe, raced in the United States, AMA national champion in 2001.
Bronze and silver guys are the
When it comes to pure racing ability, Mike Brown is the top of the class, but there are so many different elements and so many different disciplines that come into play here at Enduro X. You never can count on any one particular dominating.
Okay, well, he was fresh from a victory at Las Vegas, the opening round of the championship stateside. That was a couple of weekends ago. Second, third over the tyres. Next up, we've got Cody Webb on the number 2. He's on the beater, just coming through his shot there. So it's still pretty tight for the medals. That 4th position place for Cody Webb. He's got a hand on the bronze at the moment. Next up, we got 118. That's Corey Grafunder on the Husqvarna. So he's got a bit of space to make up to go from 5th to 4th.
And Cody Webb doesn't get rattled. Normally he's very put together. We saw him when he was racing for the lead when it was wet at Foz, that he had some problems, but he came back to pass Blazusiak. Right now we're looking at Brown, but of interest was that Colton Haker ran right up behind Taddy Blazusiak, and right now again Blazusiak and Haker are quite close.
Well, Webb, he did take that silver medal in Los Angeles last June, and he took the silver in Brazil just 4 weeks ago.
Haker with the run.
Just taking the run on Blazusiak, is he? Again, side by side. He's come right up the inside line, and Blazusiak knows it.
And Blazusiak protected there. Haker, good presence of mind to back off just a little bit. In the past, we've seen Haker be too jumpy to make a bad decision right there. I think that was a good decision by Haker to maybe back out of the line just a little bit. He already knows he's able to run up on Blazusiak, so he doesn't press the situation too early. Remember, we got 10 laps of racing just going into our 4th lap, and I think that what Haker has been learning is that he needs to have a little more patience, and that's going to help. He's been working with the Baja 1000 champs, Johnny Campbell. There's a new deal put together between him and Lucas Oil for Colton Haker, getting him on the different bikes, and Colton has really been shining, and I'm not sure if it's tutelage of people who have had that patience in the back, or if Colton is just experiencing all this different racing and figuring it out for himself.
But we've got the 41-year-old leading this race as Blazusiak's got the throttle wide open. The 29-year-old, is he getting a little bit closer on the 111 as the leader comes over? So no medals at the moment for Colton Haker. Could this be a chance for him to take his first medal home when he jumps on the plane back from Barcelona? He's getting closer and closer. They're bunching up around the River Rock section as they pull that front up over the big rocks now. We are on lap 4 of 10, so to start 5.
And look at this. Oh, Blazusiak going for it. Gets a little bit, the rear of the bike high, kicks a little bit over that log. Now Blazusiak, he is poetry in motion. Watching him ride, so much technical ability, and the top 4 have run away from the rest of the field. So right now, it is a 4-bike battle, and you can see they're all pretty close together. And Blazusiak, you gotta always think, I mean, the multi-time champion, 5 Erzberg Rodeo wins. The guy knows how to keep it smooth and fast. And 2011, of course, our X Games gold medalist.
from Mike Brown. That's, yeah. The old rivalry continues, and one little bit of an advantage for Blasuziak is that he bases a lot of his European season only up the road in Girona. It's only about an hour away, no jet lag. It's all part and parcel for being a racer in tip-top condition as he goes round the river rocks. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There goes Cody Webb.
We've seen in some of the other heats and races that inside line on the river rock has a tendency to bunch up. Now, if any one of those top 4 bunched up, it'd be interesting because no one is using an alternate line there, and all of a sudden they're forced to get out of the proper line or the line they're familiar with. So it'll be interesting if something develops there.
Mike Brown has won every race so far in 2013, except for that Foz de Guasu final, when unfortunately he fell and eventually came across the line in 5th position. Blasuziak won that 14 seconds ahead of Webb and David Knight. Knight's not here. He had it off and nearly having it off his Mike. He's Mike Brown. Goodness me.
Great run, though, in the concrete section. Look how close, side by side. Now, these two riders are teammates on the factory KTM team. They do have some different sponsors. They do have some different looks. But they are teammates. They work together, and so that should be a friendly rivalry. But we are talking about X Games gold medal here. Right?
Absolutely. When the goggles go on, the red mist, well, it's automatically installed, isn't it? As they make their way out of the rocks. Okay, that's another lap done. We're now on lap 7 of 10 here in Barcelona.
And the thing that Taddy's going to know also for sure is that Mike Brown is not someone you can push around on the track. I mean, if there was a guy that could put some elbows up and go racing and banging, it's Mike Brown. So Taddy really needs to figure out where he's going to make that pass if he's able to do so. I would expect Taddy to do it somewhere in a technical section, but they've been using a lot of the same lines, so I don't see a spot really where Taddy has that advantage or somewhere he can sneak by Mike Brown right now.
KTM first, KTM second, but the Honda of Colton Haker is closing in on that 3rd position. Let us not forget Cody Webb still in 4th at the moment as the leader comes down to the L-shaped log. There's a bit of a gap in between on the V there, which is maybe just a little bit easier for them as now the physical fitness is coming into play. Who can keep up that anaerobic effort? Massive effort. They make those bikes just look so paper light. Well, they pull the front round.
These 4 riders in the front, I mean, training is not an issue for any one of them. They have proven time and time again they are fit. They are amazing athletes. So I don't know that fitness will come into play, but it's something to think about because, Toby, you talk about how much fitness plays into all kinds of sport, but then you start talking about the obstacles that are so tough. So when you start to get physically beat down like you're talking, your mental strength starts to wane as well.
Absolutely. As Mike Brown still leads this one at the moment. We've had an off further on. Cody Webb's gone down from 4th position. Cody Webb, I can see, he's gone down from 4th position. Will he be able to hold his position ahead of Grafunda? That's the next question, but we're going to concentrate on the leaders. Meanwhile, Blasuziak has lost a little bit of an advantage to Brown. He's not quite as close as he was a lap ago.
And watching Taddy's race right now, and again, coming from the trials background, and there you see them both using the same technique. Now, Taddy not having to correct a little bit there. Mike Brown did. As they get through the technical sections, it seems like Taddy's able to close up. And look at that, a problem for Brown. Here comes Blasuziak.
He leads! No, he nearly goes over the bars, and Brown keeps the advantage. Now we're coming to the crunch time, Cameron. What you were saying a moment ago.
Mistakes.
We're getting the elbows out. This is the crunch time. This is the penultimate lap.
Well, right now, Brownie has a little bit of a gap. When they get into this racing section where the doubles are, it looks like Brown pulls away, but when they get into those rocks, that's where Blasuziak ties it up, and Brown made some mistakes. You might be right, Toby. You might be getting tired. And that's something you really got to watch for, especially here at Enduro X.
It's all about psychology now, isn't it? There's hardly anything between them. Nothing to split between the motorcycles. The 2 Austrian-made KTMs. They are 1st and 2nd. Still that Honda of Haker in 3rd place. Around the V-log they go. The couple of other riders, gentlemen, sportsmanly, get out of the way. They don't want to affect the front of this race. Around the river rocks. Again, that's just half a second lost there for Blasuziak. It's going to be that close as Max Gersten gets past on his beater, and Blasuziak, does he get a little bit held up? He has to take a different line to start the last lap. 1.8 seconds, that's about as big a gap as we've seen.
And it did look like Gersten got maybe in the way just for a second, but really see a lot of steam off of Blazuzziak's bike, but I think that's just going through the water section, and it splashed up on. Oh, Blazuzziak is off! Blazuzziak is off on the wooden double. We've been talking about that jump. That's the jump that in practice caught Destry Abbott, and it looked like he didn't get as much traction out of the tires. His tire was wet as he went up the face, and remember, water has been drug up the face of that log jump, and it just looked like the bike blew out from underneath him.
So Blazuzziak's lost the position. Colton Haker's coming up to second now as Mike Brown has just got a couple more corners to go. There he is with the number 3 coming into shot with the KTM. Well, Mike Brown, he's gonna be making sure that it's going to be gold medal for him here at X Games Barcelona as he's about to cross the line, and he almost stops at the very last moment.
Haker is there and makes a mistake.
Mike Brown has just got it. He takes gold at the last moment. Colton Haker's so close and yet so far. Haker takes silver, second position. My goodness me.
And Blazuzziak having another problem. It's going to be Cody Webb for third. Cody Webb for the bronze medal.